Hello and welcome. I'm Cameron from Power Team Realty, and today I will be answering a question that I get all the time from investors that are interested in New Brunswick. This is kind of a where do you start, what do you know? So before we dive in, I do want to describe that the Greater Moncton area is comprised of three cities, Moncton, Dieppe, and Riverview, bordered on the Petitcodiac. Now, we are a small city, about 21 kilometers end to end. We are very close in proximity to the Atlantic Ocean, more specifically the vacation city of Shediac. We are just down the road from St. John, as well as our capital city, Fredericton. And as we expand out, we do border the state of Maine, the province of Quebec, Prince Edward Island, as well as Nova Scotia. We're often dubbed the hub city, as you do have to travel through our community to be able to pass through the other Atlantic provinces. Our primary workforce would be healthcare, education, as well as information technology. Now, in recent years, we have seen an influx of call centers that have popped up. We do have a bilingual workforce, which does encourage a lot of folks to work in that specific industry. And with COVID, we've seen a resurgence of work from home, which is phenomenal. So today, we will be looking at what type of rent you can get in various areas within the Greater Moncton area. Now, I will say this video is not going to get into the various housing types. We could go on and on about what rent could fit in here and what you could do. There are lots of strategies. There are lots of ways. We will say to set the baseline standards, CMHC does dictate what these values have been historically in New Brunswick. And right now for a 2-bedroom, we're kind of hovering in around $950 per month. And we do expect to see that number change when they report the data in the new year. There are two important advancements that have happened within New Brunswick. March 2020, there was a rent cap announced of 3.8%, as well as a change to the taxation. I will put information down below for you, and you can do your own homework on that. So diving in, we are looking at a map, and we'll start off in Moncton North. So Moncton North is comprised primarily of single-family and semi-detached homes. Those two housing types traditionally have garnered the highest amount of rent, and we're looking anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500. Again, it's a broad range, but to set that tone, if we carry on over into Central Dieppe, you can also expect a similar monthly rental rate. Now, if we pan over to Riverview, there are a few pockets within Riverview that would offer a similar monthly rent. And if we look at the hospital area, as well as the Sunnybray community, which has the University de Moncton, as well as two hospitals, the Moncton Hospital is over here, we traditionally see a rental rate anywhere between $900 and $1,350. And if you are a short-term rental investor, these areas have been phenomenal for returns. Whether that's adding your secondary suite as a short-term rental option, or looking at a midterm option if you want to look at 6-month to yearly stays for students or people that are doing specific training tied to the university or the hospital. So again, not diving into building type, those are some strategies that investors have deployed within this area, hospital belt we will call it, bordered onto the university, to be able to get that. There are a few communities like Louisville and Shediac Road area that do have a mix opportunity for investors. However, it is mostly single family style, so you should fall into that category that I mentioned in Central Dieppe, as well as Moncton North. If we pan over to the mid-Moncton area and the downtown, so this is by the mall, we will call it, falls well into line. There is a lot of multifamily properties that would fall exactly into that statistics that CMHC has gathered. So this area that I'm showing on screen now would certainly fall in. And another area which is a hot topic and maybe even up for debate would be the downtown core. which I'm showing here. Currently in Moncton, there are multiple crane towers in the air, which is a great thing. It means that there's development. It means that there's money spent. It means that, so if you're an investor looking for an opportunity, there are opportunities within buildings that do need repair that might be able to be subdivided. So those particular buildings could have a very unique intrinsic value later for whatever strategy you do decide to deploy. Rental rates in this area can range. You will have the full opportunity of spectrum, but on average, let's look at $750 all the way to $1,800. And you would have a bachelor apartment all the way to a 3-bedroom single family home within this area. So again, because we're not talking about building type, it is very challenging. So if you do have specific questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And I'd love to hear your comments and feedback, so please don't hesitate to reach out.